Welcome everyone, it's Vapor Strigamar. It's time for some more Raid Shadow Legends. I am going to try to hatch a legendary on here. Because it is obvious that this tournament will end in the same time span as that. Ghoulish Ranger, no thank you. Assassin, no thank you. Gator, no thank you. Beast Wrestler, no thank you. Nomad, no thank you. An epic! Who is it? Masamoto! Let's go! Let's go, let's go, let's go! Decreased attack, dual slice, and increased defense. Not a bad champ. My Shadowkin has been saved on the third account. An epic! Who is it? It's a dupe Vrask. Well, we can build him for Doom Tower. What do we got? Garbage. Okay, cool. Cool. Garbage. But he got points. Another Purgator. How did I not see that coming? It's an epic! It's an epic! Yes! Vildrax! At least for some other crazy stuff. Yeah, this guy is a Hex champ, but he's gonna guard my vault until I can figure out a good use for Hex. And an Eviscerator, but it's a new champ. It's a new champ. Yup. And just like that, we're back in the game, baby. Just like that. We're back in the game. We are back in the game. Well, Masamoto saved my Shadowkin. I'm not complaining. Masamoto saved my Shadowkin. It's not a legendary, but hey, it's pretty good. It's pretty bloody good. Like, I'm not complaining. That's pretty sick. I mean, I didn't get a Jareg, but I mean, was I really expecting a Jareg? No. Jareg is actually not that easy to get. But yeah, we now have a Shadowkin set up now. You're like, really? Vaporsmith? Yep, we do. Believe it or not, we've got a Shadowkin set up. Why do I say we have a Shadowkin set up? Because before, I didn't really have any Shadowkin. Because remember, this account does not have Ninja. This account does not have... There's a whole bunch of things this account does not have. Has no guaranteed legendaries of any kind. There is a problem with having... There is a problem with making new accounts. There's a problem with being a new player in this game. You don't actually get a lot as a new player. You don't. You really don't. Like, you just do, like, new legendaries and new stuff, you have to pull them. You can't, or get them from guaranteed fusions that are, like, permanent in the game. You can't get all these other old guaranteed champs. You just can't. Because they never come back. And that's just the way it is. And that's one of the reasons why I don't really have a lot of motivation also to make new accounts on top of the incredible amount of burden it takes to maintain them, is there's no incentive really to make new accounts other than getting a new start with new RNG, pretty much. And also, when they said RNG has the longest category for speedrunning, I believe it. I believe it, because this is an RPG, and it takes an unbelievable amount of grinding to get, like, basic crazy champs like Drex. Like, really, it does. Or to get, like, legendaries and stuff. Yeah, it takes a stupid amount of time. Often. But, yeah. Like... I'm going to be doing this because, again, saving these tokens for Drex is important. At the end of the day, man, if I had a legendary off of that, I would have lost my marbles. Gonna be honest. Gonna be honest. But yeah, I got some new champs like Masamoto and Vildrax. I don't really know how good Vildrax is. I've never tried him. I failed his fusion, but I have him now. Like, I don't know how good he is. Okay, I'm going to need to steal his stuff just to get that out of the picture, because I know for a fact if I keep him going with that, he will run my entire team dry. But yeah, we got some new summons. I'm gonna go check on my voids real quick and see if I can get anything crazy. Because that would be nice, wouldn't it? If one of my account, like, even if it's an epic, if I could get an epic, that would be great. Remember, I only really opened shards during this event anyway. Another Daywalker? You serious, game? Another Fanatic? Can we get something unique? Of course it's nothing unique. Of course it's not. Like if it was at least unique, I could get 1,000 for it. but whatever. Well, looks like faction guardians are food, because that's literally where we're at. Let's run the whole campaign through. Why? Because I've got to max out what I've got. That's the truth. I've got to max out what I have. Because here's a pro tip. If you don't max out what you got, yeah, there's no point really. Like you gotta max out what you got. Like if it was a new rare, I would welcome them, but none of them are new or useful. If there's a new or useful rare, but none of them are useful. Notice how I'm actually maxing out and leveling a useful rare here. This other Kale is a useful rare. So yeah, we're just going to run the entire campaign through. Because I just feel like I haven't done that this clan war, and I might as well do it. Because I haven't done it in a long time. So let's get that going, you know? Just run the whole campaign through. Unfortunately, I'm only probably going to build out one fanatic, if that. The others are probably going to be books for the original fanatic. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to book Kale here. Because I like the dupe Kale. And then we're going to start focusing on some other champs and their builds. Because yes, I don't feel like I have really loafed through the campaign entirely. So we're just going to do that now. We're going to stop messing around and do that now. As if I don't do that, I'm gonna forever hold my peace. I don't need people to think that I don't make a full campaign tour every so often. If there's a time to do it, now is the time. There's also now is the time to one-shot that boss. Neat. Now, we're still in gold, thankfully, on this account, which is nice. My other account actually decayed out of gold, which was clean. Probably shouldn't have done that, because that probably would have killed me if they had a speed lead, but they didn't. So, congrats. Okay, good. That means that they've blown their revive. I'm just going to take him out of the picture. Okay. For avoid Lego, that guy does not hit hard. I'm not even going to worry about him. I'm not... That is when you know avoid legendary is bad. When I'm not even concerned. That is when you know. That is when you know a legendary is bad. When I'm not even concerned. about their power. That's when you know. That is when you know. Like, seriously. That is when you know that your legendary is bottom of the barrel. Is when literally they're slower. I'll take it. I'll take it. Can't even land any debuffs now. You were too slow on that. Now the main thing here is we're going to want to take out Mr. High-Katoon so they can't hide. Now we want to kill Candyarfon. We want to kill Candy, because if we don't kill the Candyman is going to kill us. I don't need the Candyman taking another turn. Him taking one turn may already kill you, so yeah, you don't want the Candyman. I mean, the Candyman can destroy you. It's not like, oh, the Candyman... The Candyman is a problem. Oh, God. I'm sorry, it's too funny. This is deceptive. It's because the two rezzers will make that a nightmare. I'd rather risk this than to risk the other one, because the other thing is just bad. Yeah, we're kind of screwed here, but it's fine. Wait, why? Okay, I was about to say, all right, increase champion level in the tavern 3 times. Well, obviously, we're going to want to do that with some of this food down here. And yes, there's a lot of food down here, and some of it might even be some of these void rares. Because the problem is, I get too many dupes. There's a such thing as too many dupes, and I get a lot of dupes. So, yeah. I think my main problem with Jareg right now, and this is going to sound bad, I lack the resist gear for him. So, yeah. But what I can put on him, now that I think about it, is some... well, I don't have that good of gear for him. I'm going to go resistance banner. I'm going to look for... I think HP is better. Yeah, HP for him. And then amulet. Yeah, we're going to want a top tier amulet. The reason you want resistance, etc. on this guy is because he's going to be one of my primary peel champs for Faction Wars. And also one of my primary peel champs for a lot of endgame Doom Tower bosses, like Frost Spider and Iragoth, the Eternal Bastard. But yeah, that's what he's gonna be for. Iragoth, the Eternal Bastard. I hope you're having as much fun with this as I am. I hope. Oh my god. Don't. This is what I get by calling Iragot the eternal bastard. Sorry, it's too funny. It's too funny. Oh, it's too funny. Yeah, let's do some tag. So straight off the bat, if I have this on auto, they usually die. I was hoping to get a legendary, but hey, I'll take what I can get. I'll take 2 epics. Or more epics. Because epics are not that bad, honestly. People underrate the value of epics. Mini epics can do a lot for your account. They really can. I mean, I would have preferred a legendary, but epics are more than adequate, actually, for progression. That's the crazy thing. They're more than adequate for most progression epics. You often do not need legendaries to progress in most content, barring top tier arena. Barring like the very top of arena, yeah, you don't really need legendaries. But if you do need legendaries for something, expect them to be really hard to get. Typically, legendaries are really hard to get. Unless you whale extremely hard. Like, you have to spend hundreds of dollars on shards to do that. Like, yes, you could do it if you spent a bunch of money on sacreds. But who wants to spend like $300? Probably only the dedicated whale spenders. And yes, there's a lot of them in this game. In fact, that's one of the reasons why this tournament exists in the first place, is to get the whales to blow money. That's the primary purpose of this tournament, I'm pretty sure. I am pretty sure. I'll be raising Farrakhan later, most likely. But I'll try to raise him now. We gotta do faction wars, though. Gotta admit. Because I've been ignoring faction wars for some time now. And I think that's a mistake. Especially for this account specifically. I don't know if we could beat this, but we're going to give it a go. This is definitely on the danger zone, if you will. We're walking into the danger zone. And you're like, what do you mean the danger zone? Well, when you get into the depths of this, you can kind of forget that this place is actually really dangerous. But that is exactly the problem. This place is extremely dangerous. That is part of the problem with this place. You want to keep his turn meter down as much as possible. Why? Because if you fail to do that, the consequences are actually pretty bloody severe. I was trying to get into the rhythm of this. They definitely... Yeah, this is definitely a very scary floor. I will be lucky to get through here at all. I remember now why this floor was so scary. Getting through here at all is going to be an absolute nightmare. Yup. Now I remember. I now remember why I skipped out on this. Because this floor is, very unappealing. Now, if we had talk about priorities, the number one priority here is him. Because he is the one that's going to cause us the most pain. Because he is going to block revive, which I can't counter that. So that's part of the issue. I may need to re-gear my... This isn't easy. Before you're like, oh, Vaporsmith, this is easy. This is not easy. Because I have to decide. I should have probably killed the Steel Skull. I probably also should have healed. I messed up. This is very difficult, stressful faction wars floor. The main thing here is I don't want to waste... my heal unless I absolutely need it. That's the main thing. Unless I absolutely need it, on this floor, you don't want to waste your heal. Because you may very well need it later down the line, like now. Because I needed to kill first. The order of operations was I had to take down first Foley because he blocks revive, and you do not want him to block revive, and then Steel Skull, and then you have to get this order of operations done correct. If you fail to do this, you will get wrecked. You want to keep the other guy, you want to keep everyone as low as possible. So when they get free of the unkillable, they are in deep trouble. That is generally what you want. You also want to keep his turn meter as low as possible. You want to kill the man-eater first. Focus down the Foley. You want to focus the Foley. I think I already failed. I'm going to go do the other ones because I don't have time. I have to just focus on the faction stages I can do. Because right now, it doesn't seem like I have everything built out perfectly or spec'd perfectly for that. So, I don't see me beating that. So I'm just going to focus on who I can beat. I'm pretty sure my Templar could do it if fully built out, but I wasn't really interested in doing that until later. It's just too much trouble. At least I figured out what's at the end there and who I have to focus, but I just don't... I need to get the points. That's my problem. I need the points. I'm trying to wait until his thing wears off. Because here's the deal. My faction is developed to an extent, but it's not perfect. You need it to be near perfect to beat that other stage. You need it in very good condition. Which obviously, we didn't have it in that condition. Or if I had a Sir Nick. If I had a Sir Nick, we could just blast through there. No problem. You're like, why? Sir Nick does a lot of damage, number one. Number two, Sir Nick puts an unkillable buff. So even if he doesn't do a lot of damage, he keeps your team alive, which is very important. Never underestimate the ability to keep your team alive for a champion. That is why Sir Nick is so valued, because he keeps your team from dying. And that therein lies the value of him. Yeah, this is roughly a very close fight. Yeah, the majority of it is actually in Faction Wars, which I'm actually kind of surprised at. I'm actually kind of surprised at it, but it's true. Like, I'm not going to be beating that late stage without some special help. Dang. Yeah, these late game waves smack. Like, they really do. Before you think they don't, I'm gonna give you some food for thought. These aren't really even damaged champ. They're not even good champs. Like, everyone except maybe this Lich, if that's even a Lich. If it's Lich, I'll use him. But if he's Rotting Mage, I don't even bother. Like, Liches is barely niche use, and you can see how much he smacks for. The thing is, there's like RPGs are the hardest game. Is that surprising? Honestly, no. After playing Aviond and Raid Shadow Legends as long as I have, both being RPGs, it's not surprising. Because these games can take months, even years, to defeat the more advanced content, even if you know what you're doing. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not surprised it's RPGs doing this. There we go. Got that out of the way. Even if he gets low and he has that revive on death, I still have a block revive for him. Gonna give him the news. He's not getting away with that. He's not getting away with that. But yes, the thing is, I do need to use the wellspring that is Faction Wars. Because a lot of the reason that that contest is close is due to the fact that they are better than our clan at Faction Wars. That is a fact. That is a solemn fact. Actually, no. I want to do the higher. The closer it is to a stage 20 dungeon, by the way, the easier, or like the higher dungeons, the more points it gives. So we want to get the 2 that's closest to the boss as we can. Or the boss itself. I don't know. Like, you just don't want to do... You don't want this Paragon to live. You will want to focus him with everything you've got. You want to do your daily faction wars. What tournaments are on? Oh, I got a reward for that. I'll take 50 gems. That's neat. Every time I check that, it frustrates me because it's so hard to keep it in focus. All right. Yeah, we're going to continue a little bit longer. I suppose we can do Skinwalkers. Stage 7 plus. I can finally do it because I have Cleopteryx. I have some damage now. You're like, damage? Yes, I have damage. And the damage is going to allow me to get points. Because this account actually has some Faction Wars material here. So I might as well go for it. I'm so glad I didn't use a really valuable ability. There, got one of them down. The number one problem with this True Fear thing is it makes it really difficult for me to get any form of damage off. And she lives. Let's go. Let's go. She lived. Cleopteryx lives. And that's 200 points. I'll take it. I'll take it. At least my Skinwalker's finally has damage. Like, finally. I'll take it. What's the highest I can do? I'm going to attempt this. Because the higher I can do, the more points it's going to give. That's the reality of the matter. And all these extra turns really add up, by the way. It's why he's actually kind of good. It's why he's actually kind of good. See that? Cleopteryx coming in huge. My team finally does damage now with her in the mix. Finally does some damage. It's not the best, but hey, I'll take it. Let's start these fiends. I need to maintain gold. There's no better time for me to push Arbiter missions than now. We'll need a Vogoth for this one. Because when he gets going, and believe me he will, it's not going to be pretty. Yeah, it's not going to be pretty when he gets going. let's keep it up. I need to, like, get some faction wars done. Because if I've got faction wars, now's the time. Now is the time to do it. As you can see, Cleopteryx is proving to be ridiculous for this faction. This has probably got the most advanced faction of any of them, of my accounts. One thing I like about Cleopteryx is, like, versus force affinity, she rocks. Look at that. Anyone see that? There, get that feather barrage in there. Take that, you fiends. Take that. And we will be continuing this in the next episode.